Hello everyone and welcome to tradingkamai.com, and we would like to discuss today a very interesting stock in which we recently traded, and that is Unitech. So we would like to share this knowledge of how we traded in this stock and why we traded. The first thing you would think is that Unitech is in a downtrend, so how can you actually trade in a downtrend stock? So if you look at Unitech, if you draw a trend line for approximately a year, this stock is completely in a downtrend. So you can see here I've drawn a trend line. I'll just make it a bit thick here so that you can see it. So you can see, first thing, it's completely in a downtrend. So many of the people would think that how can traders trade in a downtrend stock. Now one important thing to remember is, even though if a stock is in a downtrend, the stock always has its own spikes. So for example, you can see here, even though this is in a downtrend, always there are some small spikes here, and these are the small spikes which traders actually try to exploit. So you can see here, there is a spike here, right? You can see there is a spike here, right? So you can see there's a spike here. So every time these spikes happen, and traders get the opportunity to trade. So you can see there's a spike here, there's a spike here, there's a spike here. So even though if a stock is in a downtrend, always there is a spike. But said and done, if you see the recent chart formation of Unitech, it has started forming a range. Okay, so if I draw a trend line for the last 3 months specifically, it's very interesting. So let me go and draw a trend line here, right? So let me just go and delete this. So if I zoom on the last 3 months over here, so you can see that this is my downtrend line here. And again, let me just go and connect all the lower ends over here. Okay, so if you watch very closely, right, there it is, right? If you watch very closely here, it's actually trying to trade in a range, right? So if you see this, right, so if I'm just drawing approximation, guys, and it's very difficult to draw exact, so I'm going to just draw approximation here, right? But very quickly, the whole point here is, you can see this last 3 months, it's actually trading in a range. So as a trader, right, must be overall, if an investor sees this, he will see that there is a downtrend. If some investor is seeing this, he will say, oh, on the month of October it is 19, and on the month of December it is 15, right? So for him, or on the month of November it is 16, right? So for him it's a downtrend. But for a trader, you can see, okay, there's a downtrend, but then there is an uptrend, where a trader can trade. So again, there's a downtrend, it touches this line, and again there is an uptrend, right? So for a trader, these are the areas where he can trade. So you can see the first trade, you can always take it here on October 24. This was the range. Again in November 12 approximately, there was a range. And again on like recently 1 week back, again we had this possibility where we can trade in Unitech. So the way we traded in this stock is as follows. So what we did is, basically we saw that, first thing, this stock was already in our radar, in our monitoring radar, because we knew that it is actually trading in a range, and every time it comes at this point, it is always a viable option for us for trading. So we started monitoring from November 20 very rigorously for this stock. There was a huge negative over here, and this huge negative had a lot of volumes, which actually gave us a sign saying that that again it is ready for a range trading from here. So we took a position at this level here, that is approximately on November this is on November 28, and we bought it at like 16.20, and we sold the next day at 16.80. so that becomes approximately 2% of profit. And let's say 1% goes to the as a agent fees also, still we are under 1% profit. So in other words, even though if stocks are trading in a downtrend, always they have some kind of a range bound. You can always leverage that range bound and do trading. So at this moment, Unitech looks to be in a range bound, and it's definitely a good viable option for trading. Now you can see again over here, it has touched this slope line here, that is the uptrend line, and looks to me that it is not trying to break this range. So probably again you can see a downtrend. But in case if it breaks this uptrend line here, right, this downtrend line, then definitely we'll see new highs in Unitech. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. In this video, we were trying to understand that in case if the stock is moving down, and if it is having a range bound kind of movement, how to do trading. Thank you so much. Now, whatever analysis I have done here, I was able to do the analysis because, I know technical analysis. Technical analysis is where, actually you look at charts, you look at numbers, and you try to take position in a stock. So in case you are interested in technical analysis training, please do mail us at trading.kamai@yahoo.com. And you can also call on this number 022, that is a Bombay's number, 022 6675 2917.